Hey everybody out there, my name is Dragnix, and this is Aero's Quest. It's $5.99, $2 off during its promotional period. It is a puzzle platformer, but before I begin this Let's Try, I want to make sure that you guys know this was obtained via a key from the developer. I reached out to them, they gave me a key in exchange for some coverage on their game, so keep that in mind as I go forward. Now, it's indicated on their press page that, or their store page, that this is Super Meat Boy meets Mega Man, in terms of what the press have described it as. I don't think that's very fair, because Mega Man, you shoot, you face bosses, things like that, and there's none of that in this game. Super Meat Boy is a better comparison, but there's reaction portions in there, and I don't think this game is anywhere near that level as well. What I will say is that it does hit the puzzle portion of it, and in particular, I have problems with some of the design elements, and it's not the game for me. It may be for those people who love the hard, challenging platformer, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. Alright, so the idea here is that there are these switches. In order to get through the level, you have to hit every switch in the level in order to open up the end and save your girlfriend. Because, of course, this game is save your girlfriend, of course. This case of spikes, whoa. There we go. And simple enough. And they disappear. Alright, so where I just take elements of design in terms of where I have problems with this game is something like this. Now, up here, naturally you go to the top portion here and you look at this and be like, okay, I need to time this right. And so I'm going to sit here and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about and where I think there are deceptive design decisions made. Okay, there we go. Notice how I fall on the second portion there. Now if I go down here and I try the same thing, I could also hit the second portion. The easiest way to actually do this is do something like this. If I can time it right. If I can time it right. There we go. See, it's deceptive to me because you want to be moving forward all the time. You don't want to be, you know, making those unnecessary jumps in games like this because it always seems like... I slid off. It always seems like the game does not want you to do that. But in this game, that's a little bit different. It leads to some frustrations, unfortunately, which I think the game could have easily gotten past, that there was no reason for it. I think some of the design decisions in that case were problematic. I'm having real trouble early on here, which really shouldn't be a problem considering I've done this level like 200 times at this point, because I've been having some trouble with recording lately, let's just put it that way. Now you do get power-ups, like this one for example is Time Warp, which basically is the Matrix power. So touch that, jump over that, get that. Now in each level you can earn up to 3 stars. How do you do that? Well, you can earn up to 1,500 points, so like right there I got that red item and that's worth 1,000. I can get this little drone here which is worth 500, and there are 2 drones within each level. If I get the 2 drones, that will also be another star for that portion. Finally is that you don't die. Well, that one's a little bit harder because again, you have to go through the level without dying anyways, and I find it a little bit weird. It's like, get through the level without dying. Okay, the first time. So you want me to go back to the main menu then? I mean, that one to me is like one of those situations where it's just like, okay, I understand what you were going for in terms of that, but in practice, I don't see the point of it. Because again, you're just sort of making it a little bit more difficult for the person to get the achievement for a stupid mistake, when in fact you have to get through each run no matter what by not dying. Okay, missed that drone, don't care. Get to the end. So, now, in terms of controls, there is a little bit of a slide that seems to happen at times, especially with certain parts of the environment. I don't know what it is. Like, you could see, like, the blood kicked up there a little bit. I think there may be a little bit of a physical difference with that in terms of physics, but I haven't had that reliably, you know, give me problems in terms of, like, okay, sliding through like that. But I don't know. The controls here are one of those things where it's really hard for me to quantify where I have problems with it, because I feel like there are problems with it. I'm just not sure what. it's not like the game is fighting me at every portion, but it feels like there's something off. Now, I have to remember this because there are puzzle elements like this in the game. Oopsies. Some of the deaths seem over, like you got the cartoonish style, and then you have deaths like that where there's blood and guts all over the screen, and you're sitting there going, that just seems a little bit weird compared to everything else in this game. It just seems like out of place. The environments and the metal work also seem out of place as well. I don't know what it is about like the way that they presented this game, but it feels like they might have put some assets together, and they're definitely unique, so I think they're all in-house. It just feels like there's a mishmash of what was wanted here, at least in my opinion. Alright, so I want that drone. There we go. I can go up there and get some points, but I really don't care. Okay, I think it's that one. Oh, boy. Okay, it was that one. I think it's that one. I don't remember now. There we go. Cool. Now, what I'll give the game is variety. Each level, although you have the same kind of mechanics going along, they switch things up a bit, and so I will say that each level feels a little bit different from the other. And even though with these platformers, you do get sort of that sense that you're going to keep on doing the same thing over and over again, in this one, I will say that I feel like each level has been unique enough where I say, okay, fine, I am doing something completely different. I'm not sure what happened there. I jumped up and apparently died. Okay, sure, why not? Also, the music will get on your nerves a little bit because it is the same sort of looping music after a while, and that it doesn't have this sort of staying power as some of the other kind of music that you expect from this genre would have. All right, jump up. There we go. Now you get elements like this too. So, okay, 1, 2, 1. Okay, good. I was able to stop on that portion, but sometimes the precision that you need in order to like hit those portions can be problematic. Now, I will say that you do have puzzle situations like here. Okay, I've activated the switch and uh-oh, I can't get out. I could die here, or I can hit the R3, yes, R3 button to activate it. Now you get the power jump power up here to get out of here, and I do say I do like the puzzle elements to this in terms of using everything around you. It may be simple, but it is different enough that I feel like it is a little bit different enough for it to stand out in terms of some of the puzzle platformers that I've played in a while that have speed running or, you know, perfectionist elements to it. All right, there we go. Jump up. Now, I do want to talk about the visuals because they're not the greatest. I do think the design is there. It's just that maybe the art fidelity isn't exactly the greatest in terms of what they were going for here. And I think they could have done something a little bit better on that portion. It could be worse. It could be a lot worse. And I do feel like it does have a unique style. I did not hit the switch. That was silly. Okay, points. Now, again, where I have problems with this game is design. I admit I'm not the greatest of sort of difficult platformers in terms of sort of the repetitive nature of them, especially when it's clear that it's designed to sort of frustrate the player. I will say that technically this is competent and it does the job. And with levels like this one, I like this level because you fall down here immediately and then realize, oh crap, I can't get back up. You go over here, realize you see a key there. There is puzzle elements to that in terms of doing that and then realizing, oh, that's what I need to do. And then you feel like you've, you know, solved things rather well without it being too complicated in terms of execution. Okay, there we go. We're going to get to exactly where that starts to fall apart, I think in the next level here. Yeah, there we go. We're going to take a look at this pattern. We're just going to stay here for a second and watch this guy's pattern. Okay, left, right, 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 left, right, right, left, right. And it's going between one or two spaces. From what I've seen, this is a random pattern. There's not a very short and understandable pattern here. The reason why that's a problem is that when I need to realize, or when I need to figure out when to go, that's the big problem, isn't it? I don't know when to go because I can't guarantee what the next item is going to be. And that's where this game, I think, is majorly falling apart for me, because my level of expectation in being able to get by this part, like, I've done this part 100 or 200 times at this point. It's a crapshoot whether or not I make it through. Now, it all comes out at the same timing, but whether or not I can get close up or not close up is the difference. And of course, that's going to make a huge difference in terms of me getting through the level. Which I think is where on the scale of fairness versus unfairness, is where this game starts to get into the term of unfair sections of platforming. I don't think, if there is a pattern, the pattern here is long, and if the pattern here is long, then players are really not going to want to stay through that. It should be a very short pattern in that case. It shouldn't be like a 12-step or a 15-step pattern. It should be like a 4-step or a 5-step pattern. And so now I'm just sitting here trying to brute force my way through it, and I'm not having fun. And I think that's where my expectations of the genre fall flat here. Now, for someone who really wants you some like having a run feel unique every time you go through it, this game can do the job there. Don't know why apparently that hit me, but maybe me ducking somehow did that. I don't know, is that like, it seems like it's a magma effect too, which is a little bit weird considering, okay, now it's blood, but sometimes it's blood, sometimes it's like a magma, which I don't understand. Is that supposed to be robotic parts? I don't get it, but whatever. So yeah, that's where my ultimate conclusion regarding, besides the airplane that's going by right now, my ultimate conclusion regarding Aero's quest is, for me and for a good amount of the population in terms of the gaming community, I don't think this works as a puzzle platformer for them. It's just some of the unfair parts really can feel like they are like going against you in so many ways. Now, I got through it in that sense. Luckily, there's a stealth power up for me to get back through this portion, but it just has that element where the lack of patterns at times can really screw you up. And I feel like if they tweak that a little bit, that just maybe it'll do a lot better in terms of what I think about the game. But other than that, I'm really going to waste this entire portion trying to get over there. But other than that, I think the game just has several problems that, unfortunately, it has that frustration factor. It has that factor in which it doesn't appeal to me in terms of some of its visual portions. And while I do appreciate the different art style, it just doesn't have that oomph that I would want from a game like that. That standout feature, or that standout element that will really take it to the next level. Anyway, this is Dragnix signing out. I hope you got an idea of exactly what Aero's quest offers to you. Again, I do see some good elements to it in terms of the variety. If you're looking for a very difficult platformer that will challenge you, then by all means, I would take a look at this game. It does have some good puzzle elements, but other than that, some of the design elements I would question whether or not, over the long run, it made a lot of sense to do. Alright. I will see you all later. I don't know what my next videos will be at this point, because really, honestly, this week has been sort of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. There's not a lot of releases this week. It's getting towards E3, and not a lot of people make releases during that time. So keep that in mind. All right, I'll see you all later.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this content and want to see more of it, you may want to hit that subscribe button on the left-hand side. If you like this video and want to see more of this content, take a look at this video on the left-hand side as well. And if you've missed my last video, take a look at the right-hand side. Once again, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.